question 14. So for part 1, we need to find two equations in terms of a and b. Well, we know these 2 points are on the line, so we substitute in x being minus 3 and y being 7, and then secondly x being 1 and y being 3 to give us our two equations in terms of a and b. So that's what I've done up here, equation 1 and equation 2. And then we've obviously got a simultaneous equation we can solve. So if we just rearrange this second one and make this being a equals 1 take away b, and then we take that and substitute that into the one up here, and then solve for b, we get b equaling minus 2, and therefore a equals 1 minus minus 2, which is 3. So b is minus 2 and a is 3. So we've now got our curve knowing that a is 3 and b is minus 2. Now for part 2 we need to find the midpoint r of the line PQ. So we need to find the midpoint of P and Q. So we're going to average the x coordinates, minus 1 and minus 3 and plus 1, average those two, and average 7 and plus 3, giving us r being minus 1 and 5. Now to show that r sits on the curve, we just substitute x being minus 1 into our curve. Remember, our curve now has got a and b replaced with 3 and minus 2. So substituting x being minus 1, we can see that y does indeed equal 5, so r does sit on the curve. Now for part 3 we're going to work out both of these areas here and show that they're equal to each other. So for A1 we're going to integrate curve take away line, and then for A2 we're going to integrate line take away curve. Now first of all we're going to have to pick up what the equation of the line is. Now do you see that if you add the x and the y coordinate together you consistently get 4 for these points on the line. That plus that, that plus that, and that plus that equal 4. So x plus y equals 4, or rearranging that we have y equaling 4 minus x. So with regard to A1 we're going to integrate curve take away line. So curve take away 4 minus x. So just take on board that that's minus 4 and adding an x. So then gathering up all your like terms there, you get this to be integrated between minus 1 and minus 3. So integrating each of these, substituting in minus 1 and minus 3, we get an area of A1 of plus 4. Now for A2 we're going to be integrating between plus 1 and minus 1. I'm not sure if I remember to say, for A1 we're integrating between minus 1 and minus 3. So back to A2, we're integrating between plus 1 and minus 1. We're doing line take away curve, line take away curve. So go and simplify that there, but remember that's minus x cubed minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. Gathering up like terms we get this to be integrated. So we integrate that, substituting in plus 1 and minus 1, and we get 4. So we have shown that both A1 and A2 are 4. In other words, A1 equals A2.